Hey everyone, going to do a kit review today. I'm going to be reviewing the McLaren mp4-12c gt-3 race car from Fujimi. So far, from what I've seen, it's a pretty nice kit. I've got the body already started on this thing. I had to get some mold lines and flash and a few other things worked out of it, but overall it was pretty good. I got it right over here. Um, The one strange thing about this body is I hold it up here, the whole side of this body, right through this area right here, is a separate piece. It's the first time I've ever seen a manufacturer do that. The rest of the body's all cast in one piece except for the two sides of the car. And surprising enough, it fits very well. I had no issues at all with it. The only thing that I did notice on mine, and I had to do a little bit more adjusting to it, was one of the panel lines was a little wide where that goes together, which would be the back of the door. So I had to move the pins around a little bit to tighten that up. But overall, the body looks pretty good. I'm going to pan the camera down here so you can get a look at what else is in this kit and the kit itself. So there we have the kit. Fairly inexpensive kit. I think I gave, it was right around 25 or 30 bucks for this. It actually came in from Japan. Very simple kit. It's more of a curbside kit than anything else. It does have an engine in it, but it is simulated. So the parts count on this kit is not real big. First thing we have is the instructions. Gives you the parts layout. Aside from the body, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 5 parts trees. And, you know, the wheels, the tires, the axles. The only thing chrome in this kit is the headlight bezels. That's the only chrome that comes with it. Pretty straightforward, though. Simple. Really not a lot of steps in it. I think you have, let's see, altogether you have about 14 steps. Gives you a very nice detailed part here on actually your trim paint and applying your decals. Very well laid out. The instructions are very nice in it. And like I say, so far it seems to be a pretty good kit. I would say this kit would be good for a beginner that's got a little bit of experience with glue together kits. Other than that, I would say probably this would be more along the intermediate level because of the fitting of the body and certain odds and ends. But overall, it's a pretty basic kit. And, you know, if you take your time and you build this thing right and clean everything up, it's going to come out real nice for you. So to give you an idea of some of the parts trees, this one here, this car has a full roll cage in it. These parts here are molded very well. This is the roll cage and a couple, I think, yeah, the uprights for the wing is on here. The louvers for under the hood. Well, actually under the trunk lid on this car, I guess. The end plates for the spoiler, which I will not be using. The spoiler itself, I'm going to be covering the spoiler in carbon fiber. There looks to be, I would have to do a little bit of sanding on this, but I think there's a couple injector, or not injector pin marks, but sink marks in this wing. So that may be something that you need to address. But as far as this, this is, let me tell you what parts tree this is here. This would be the D parts tree. As far as flash and everything, this thing looks pretty good. So we're good to go on this one. Now we're going to move on to, let's see, this would be part A. This would be the A parts. Actually, the chassis pan goes on here. I've already got the chassis pan off. It's all one piece. Pretty good molding. It's got a couple small sink marks right back here in the back. So if you're putting this thing on a mirror, you may want to address that. But if you're going to display it just on the table, or, you know, even on its own display base, I probably wouldn't worry about that too much. Because like I say, there's not a lot of detail you're going to see under there anyway. So, I mean, really, if you put a mirror under the car, it's not really doing a whole lot. So, but parts A on the A parts tree they all look very clean. You have the inner fender wells, front and rear, and you have the tow hooks here. Everything looks to be cast very nice. Same thing with this kit. Comes with just a single seat in it, the interior bucket, and of course the interior bucket has the engine already cast into it. Brake rotors are on here. They look very nice. The steering wheel is very nice on this. Has controls in the center of it. Some suspension pieces, the brake calipers, the dash. The front splitter is on here. And some odds and ends. But everything on this, and this would be parts. This would be the B parts tree. Everything on here looks very nice. No, I don't see any flash on it anywhere, so everything looks like it'll go together without a lot of cleanup on this tree. And of course we have the clear parts tree, which is the engine cover, the headlight covers, the back glass, and the windshield and side glass are all molded together in this as one piece. They look to be pretty good, a little thick for me, but I'll have to see what it looks like when I get ready to start putting all this together. I may have to thin this glass out a little bit, but it looks to be like it's cast pretty well. So I would say, as far as you guys that just want to build a decent kit, you can put this in as is. The one tree that I did notice in here, and it's actually the tree labeled Part C. This tree has a lot of flash on it. I'm not sure. This tree here actually looks like it came out of a different kit. Mine has flash all over it. It has strings of plastic. I'll hold it up there. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, see the strings of plastic hanging off of some of these parts? I was very surprised with that coming from Fujimi. This has a couple fairing pieces on it that goes in the body. The front splitter end panels, and the windshield wipers on here, and the mirrors. But I was very stunned that they would allow this to get past quality control. This parts tree here. It took me a long time to clean up what I've used off of this just to put onto the body. So you're going to have to spend a little bit of time cleaning up parts tree C to make it look decent and make the parts look decent. But as far as the fit and everything of the parts, it seems to be pretty good. And we also have another seat. There's a seat in this one parts tree. They give you an extra one. Haven't really looked into it that far, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But they do give you an extra seat in its own bag. And then we have the only chrome parts, which are the headlight buckets. They look to be very nice, very clean, no flash. Doesn't look like there's any sink marks in them that'll be visible, so these should be good to go right out of the kit. Now the wheels, I really like the wheels. They did them with like a gunmetal, sort of a graphite style finish, and these things look good as is. For the guys that want a super detail, I would say probably a set of dust covers in the center of them. And maybe some lugs and a valve stem. The valve stem is cast in, but for me, I'm going to actually put alloy stems in these. But these things are very clean, the color on them is just beautiful to go with the bittersweet pearl that I'm going to be using on this kit. So the wheels are definitely something that I think you'll be impressed with. I definitely am. And then we move on. We have the tires, the axles, and the little retainers for the wheels in a separate bag. And I've got a few loose parts laying in here that I was fitting to the body. And next, they also give you the mask for doing the windows, which is something that Tamiya does also. Here's the mask for the windows. Makes life a lot easier when you're doing the black trim around the windows. So that's a big plus. And the decals themselves are very nice. They seem to be very thin. The printing on them is just beautiful. Nice vivid colors. The carrier film is not real wide. You shouldn't have to do any trimming at all on the carrier film on these. I'll let you know in another video on how those decals go on. As soon as I get this thing painted and guide coated clear on it, I'll be starting on the decals. So I'll definitely let you know how that goes. So overall, I mean, that's basically the Fujimi McLaren kit. Like I say, it's not a super detailed kit. It doesn't have, you know, all the separate engine and transaxle and suspension components and all that. But overall, I think once it gets built, it's going to be a very nice looking kit. I did add the Studio 27 photo etch set to this kit. I've already opened this up because I've used a couple parts off of it for fitting purposes. But I'll hold it up here so you can get an idea of what's on it. It actually has the brake rotors on it, the radiators, electric fans, the harnesses are in here, the tow hooks, the windshield wiper. A lot of nice parts on this. I think this actually cost more than the kit did, which is the way it works with photo etch a lot of times. They give you a lot of the radiator and the inlet screens on here. Now, one thing I should mention on that, if you're going to use the photo etch kit, and especially the one from Studio 27, I'm not sure about others, but this particular photo etch set here, you're going to have to cut out the body. From the factory, they have this cast in right here. This is a screen that's cast in. Same thing in the center, same thing here. Those have to be cut out to use the photo etch. And the same thing, this whole rear panel back here is filled in on the kit. You have to cut that out. And in its place gets, well, let me get it turned right here. Gets this screen right here that's photo etched. That goes in there and gets painted black. And the other thing that I had to hollow out was this rear scoop here, this air scoop. It actually has a screen in the front of it and a screen on top of it here. That's all in the photo etch set, but you have to cut it out of the kit parts to be able to put those in. And of course, it gives you a radiator detail in there that goes in behind these openings on the side of the car, which you will be able to see them. They are visible. And the one thing I was kind of surprised they didn't give you in this photo etch set is where the fuel filler ports are on the side of this car. They only give you the ring that has the bolts in it. They didn't actually give you the detail of the filler cap itself. So I did a little bit of research on the car, and I found something in photo etch, and I think it's for a Ferrari kit that is very close to what the McLarens look like. So I'm going to use that. But other than that, I mean, it seems to be a very nice kit. The Studio 27 photo etch seems to be very nice. So I would say if you've got, you know, if you're interested in building race cars or GT3 cars, this is definitely a kit I would pick up. Even though it's a fairly simple kit, I think you'll enjoy building it. It seems to be molded well, and from what I've put together on the body, it seems to go together well. So I would highly recommend this kit. And like usual, if you have any questions or concerns or anything, just leave me a comment on the video, and I'll be more than glad to get back to you on it. So I'm going to wrap it up on this one, and I've got a couple more actually kit reviews in the works right now that I'm thinking about doing here. And so stay tuned for those. Those will be coming up here probably in about the next week or so. I'll be doing those. So I'm going to let you go today, and thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.